Welcome back, everyone, to AI Brief. It's great to have you with us.
Absolutely, it's good to be back.
For episode 103, we've got another exciting deep dive into the world of artificial intelligence planned.
We're going to be covering quite a bit today. Some big news from Meta about their new AI models.
Also, a significant partnership between CMA, CGM, and Mistral AI.
And some pretty interesting updates from Microsoft about Copilot, their AI assistant. Plus, as always,
We've got some fascinating developments from the broader science world to explore.
stuff that has some interesting AI implications.
And of course,
We'll wrap up with
some trending AI tools that we think you might find pretty useful.
Sounds good.
Let's kick things off with Meta.
They just dropped their new Llama 4 AI models.
Yeah, this is big news.
Big news. It feels like a significant jump forward.
Definitely. Two models in particular are grabbing a lot of attention.
Llama 4 Scout and Llama 4 Maverick.
Llama 4 Scout is fascinating because it's designed to be super efficient. It can run on a single NVIDIA H100 GPU.
Which is like a specialized processing unit for AI. Super high performance.
And yet it can handle this massive 10 million token context window.
That's huge.
That means it can take in and understand a lot of information at once. And supposedly it's outperforming some really big names in the AI world.
Google's Gemma 3, Mistral 3.1.
Especially when it comes to understanding language,
Yeah.
the nuances of language.
That's really impressive.
Then there's Llama 4 Maverick.
Yeah.
This one is positioned as kind of the bigger brother.
More powerful. A lot of people are comparing it to GPT-4o from OpenAI.
DeepSeek V3 as well. And what's really interesting is that it's apparently excelling at coding and also complex reasoning tasks,
But using fewer active parameters.
which basically means it's really efficient.
It's achieving this great performance, but it's not gobbling up as much processing power.
That could have some pretty big implications.
For sure. Especially for developers, because it could lead to lower computational costs.
And then we have Llama 4 Behemoth. This one is truly massive. Meta is still developing it, but they're saying it has 288 billion active parameters.
Total of 2 trillion.
Trillion. And they're claiming that it will surpass even GPT 4.5 and Claude Sonnet 3.7.
Especially on STEM benchmarks.
It's hard to even imagine the kind of problem-solving power that we'll see with that.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling.
So how is Meta achieving this?
Well, they're using what they call a mixture of experts architecture.
MOE, right.
So instead of activating the entire network for every single task, it intelligently routes the input to just the necessary expert subnetworks. So it's like having a whole team of specialists.
And only calling upon the ones you need for a specific job.
Exactly. Much more efficient.
And what makes all of this even more exciting is that Meta is integrating these Llama 4 models directly into their AI assistant.
Which is going to be available across all of their major platforms: WhatsApp, Messenger, Instagram, and even the web.
So many of us are going to be experiencing these advancements firsthand pretty soon. Now, there has been a bit of discussion about Meta calling this open source.
Right. Because while they are using that term, their license does have some restrictions, especially for commercial entities with over 700 million users.
So there's been some debate about what open source really means in this context, and it's something to pay attention to how this plays out.
Definitely.
Now, if you're really interested in learning more about this,
They've got LlamaCon coming up on April 29th.
Meta's big conference where they'll be unveiling more.
That's where we should get all the juicy details.
All right, let's move on. A pretty interesting partnership just popped up between CMA, CGM,
That's the shipping giant, headquartered in France.
and Mistral AI, also a French startup.
It's a 5-year deal worth 100 million euros.
This is a big deal.
The main goal is to improve customer service in the world of shipping and logistics.
Which can be pretty complex. There's a lot of potential for AI to streamline everything there, make things more efficient.
They're also focusing on using AI for fact-checking within CMA CGM's media businesses.
BFM TV is one of them. That's really important these days with all the information flying around.
Absolutely.
And they're not wasting any time. They want to have their AI initiatives up and running in just 6 to 12 months.
Which is pretty ambitious. They're trying to support customer advisors who handle over 1 million emails per week.
Million emails a week. That's incredible.
That's a lot of emails.
It really highlights the scale of the operation.
For sure.
Now, this partnership is being seen as a sign of France's commitment to technological innovation.
Especially in the face of global trade tensions and competition from low-cost AI models coming out of China.
It's a strategic move to really promote and champion their own AI development.
And it seems like Mistral AI itself is growing really fast.
They are. They're projecting a tenfold increase in sales between the end of this year and next year.
And partnerships like this with CMA CGM and also with Stellantis.
They're big drivers of that growth. This new partnership brings CMA CGM's total investment in AI to 500 million euros, which includes a previous $150 million alliance with Google. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, they're serious about AI.
All right, now for our last bit of company news, let's turn to Microsoft. They recently held their 50th anniversary Copilot event.
50 years, that's a long time.
It is. And they announced some pretty significant upgrades to Copilot, their AI assistant.
The main focus seems to be on making it more proactive, more helpful, more personalized.
Exactly. One of the big things is memory capabilities. Copilot will be able to remember past interactions.
So it can give you more personalized help in the future.
And of course, there are privacy considerations there.
Of course,
Microsoft has addressed that. They say users will have control over their data.
they can manage it, delete it if they want to.
Another really cool new feature is on-screen awareness. So Copilot can actually understand and interact with the content that you have displayed on your screen.
Imagine that. You're working on something and Copilot's right there giving you context-aware suggestions, real-time support.
That's going to be really helpful. And for those of you who do research,
They're introducing a dedicated research tool for Copilot.
that's going to help gather information, summarize it.
Basically streamline the whole research process.
The mobile versions of Copilot are also getting a big upgrade. They're integrating with device cameras.
So basically, Copilot can now see what you see, analyze your surroundings. It's like having a built-in visual search engine.
That's going to be pretty amazing. And finally, Copilot is going to be able to help you with personal shopping.
That's right.
So it'll monitor price drops, compare products from different retailers.
You can even make purchases within the app.
This could really change how we shop online. All in all, these updates make Copilot a much more intuitive, much more helpful assistant.
Yeah, really capable of anticipating your needs.
Let's move on now to some fascinating discoveries that have been happening in the broader scientific world.
This is always my favorite part.
Me too. One really intriguing question that physicists are grappling with. Why does anything exist at all?
I mean, it's a pretty fundamental question.
According to our current understanding, the Big Bang should have created equal amounts of matter and antimatter.
Which would have annihilated each other, leaving nothing.
But new research is suggesting that there might be a tiny asymmetry in their decay rates, a subtle difference that might explain why matter prevailed.
It's amazing to think that such a small difference could have such huge consequences.
In the world of quantum computing, scientists are claiming a potential first practical application. They used a 56-qubit quantum computer to create what they call a certified randomness protocol.
And that's used to generate truly random numbers, something that classical computers can't do perfectly.
This could have big implications for cryptography, data security, anything that needs truly unpredictable randomness. Now let's shift gears to biology.
Scientists have been studying these large, single-celled organisms called stentors.
And they found that they can actually vacuum up more food, increase their feeding efficiency when they band together.
It's really interesting.
This kind of cooperative behavior in such simple organisms could give us clues about how multicellular life evolved.
It's amazing to see the roots of cooperation even at that level.
Absolutely. Now, for you music lovers out there, a twin study with over 9,000 participants has found that over half of the differences in how we enjoy music are actually due to our genes.
Our DNA. They even identify different genetic pathways that are linked to specific aspects of musical enjoyment.
So like your emotional response to music, your sense of rhythm, that sort of thing, it really sheds light on why our musical tastes can be so varied.
So personal. Yeah, it's fascinating.
And finally, researchers have come up with a neuroscientific model to explain near-death experiences. They're suggesting that during these critical events where you have a drop in oxygen levels and a rise in carbon dioxide in the brain, there could be a massive release of neurotransmitters.
And that could trigger those vivid perceptions and experiences that people often report having during near-death experiences.
So, still theoretical, but it's a fascinating biological perspective on this very profound human experience.
Really interesting.
Now let's wrap things up.
With a look at some trending AI tools.
If you're looking to integrate AI into your work or life, there are some interesting ones out there.
One is called SimplAI. It's a platform for building, deploying, and managing what they call agentic AI.
Which is AI that acts more autonomously.
And they really emphasize governance and security.
Another one is Base 442.0. This one wants to empower anyone to build software without needing to write any code.
Create simple tools, entire online businesses, all without coding.
Sounds ambitious.
It is. We'll see how it works out. Then there's Infosys. This platform is all about deploying machine learning models, and they're focusing on really fast startup times and scalable pricing.
Okay, so if you're working with ML models, this one's worth checking out.
Absolutely. We also have Supercut.
This one is all about simplifying screen recording.
Record your screen, share it instantly, and they use AI to make it look really professional.
Really helpful for anyone making tutorials or sharing their work. Then we have Cider. This one's really interesting. It's described as a deep research agent.
Mimics how humans research. It scans through tons of sources,
Creates these visualized reports, even takes notes for you.
builds a personal AI knowledge base.
The browser extension lets you use it anywhere on the web.
Very cool.
And finally, we have
Fluently. It's an AI-powered English language coach, available 204/7.
it helps you improve your writing, speaking, vocabulary, everything.
Really helpful for anyone who wants to improve their professional communication skills.
Well, that brings us to the end of another deep dive into the world of AI.
It's always amazing to see how quickly things are evolving.
It is. To make sure you don't miss out on future deep dives, be sure to follow AI Brief wherever you get your podcasts.
And please share this with anyone who you think might enjoy it.
Thanks for joining us.
Until next time.